Dige dagi toba tuji na chumde ne gyabo ka chabo pumbo rila gilongi gindu chenpo dan chanju senpe gindu chem tabji do shude te se chumde ne samo nangwa shuja we chuge namrangi tingi zila nyomba shu yang te ce chanju senpa senpa chenpo paba chere se wang shu shirabgi paro duch namo juba nila namba dashin pumo ngabo te da la yang ran shinge dongpa na Yo sui tu cai dang den ba sha ri bu chang zhe san ba chen pa ba chi re zi wang shu la di ge je me su ri ge bu kang la la shi ra ge pa ro du chen sa mu che ba chu ba du ba de ni da nam ba da wa sha de pa dang cha zhe san ba chen bu pa ba chi re zi wang shu ge cai dang den ba sha ra ta di bu la di ge je me su sha ri bu ri ge bu wa ri ge bu mo kang la la shi ra ge pa ro du chen Samo jeba jeba doba de tita namba tawa cha de pumo ngabo te da la yang ran shige domba namba yang da ba che su su domba wo domba ni su so su le domba ni xe ma ni ni le kyang su je ma yin no te jin tu so wa dang du je dang namba she ba nang domba wo cha le bu me da che tam je domba ni de ce ni me ba ma ge ba ma ga ba che ma me ba che ma dang de wa me ba kang wa me ba wo sha ri bo te te we la song ba ni la su me so wa me du je na me ba me mi me na wa me na me je me du me yi me su me tra me chi me ru me re ja me che me yi ge ka me ba ne yi ge ka me yi ge nam ba she be kam ge pa do ya me do ma re ba se ba me ba ne ka shi se be me do de jin do du ma wa da kun jung wa da go ba da la me ye she me to ba me ma do ma yang me do sha ri bo te da we na ma jo san ba nam to ba me me she ra ge pa ro do chen ba la de je ne de sen la de ba me je me de jin jin lo de xin do de ne ne me le de be ta jin do du do na ba shu be sang ge tham je she ra ge pa ro do chen ba la de ne la la me ba yang da ba zo we chang ju dong ba zo ba sa ge so te na shi ra ge pa rong da chen be nga re ba chen be nga la na me be nga mi nyam ba da nyam be nga du ya tham je ro du chi wa che be nga mi zum be na den ba shi ba cha de shi ra ge pa ro du chi be nga me ba ta ria tha ga de ba ra sa ga de bo de so sha re bo chang je san ba chen me da shi ra ge pa ro du chi ba sa mo la la pa cha wo te de chum de ting ye zen de chang je san ba chen ba ba che re zong wa chu la le so shi cha wa chen ne le so re ge bo te shin no re ge bo te shin che da ji je ten ba te chen da shi ra je ba ro do chen ba sa mo la che ba che de ti sha ba nam kyang che se ra ngo chum de ge te ge ja ka chen ne te dang ten ba sha ra ta de bo da chang ju sen ba chen ba ba che re se wa chu na ta che da de be kho te da ha da mi da ma ma yin no chu sa che be ji de ye ra chum de ge sam ba la ngom ba ra du ne jo tam ba ne mo je su den na we to je do wa bo la ma ye bo shin se ne so khan ru to la cha sa to a pa sa ma ra da sha na ra sa ma Kata Shadara Samara Gade Para Sangade Bodhiso Dage Paje Mitunde Churenge Matamje Shani Kuru Yeso Rage Joshiwa Dhammidene Vegna Ba Joje Punzo Tokyo Be Tashi Kekya De Banden Zawe Lama Rinpo Shen Dage Jemo Bede Jona Kare Jemo 上面东巴中等的，要造汤巴之子弥盘滚，要为龙殿帕托梅沙三业长生松拉所瓦的三业长生松拉所瓦的藏定开别作业一给你。无灭浪涅帕巴南者的特别三涅松巴南者的吉德米杰松拉所瓦的吉德米杰松所瓦的美中我参涅有求业的萨摩拉耶有将的为的拉杰却别的有那那在这为扎拉松拉所瓦的各位扎拉松拉所瓦的浪潮写信给在身上下要为美阿滚进古萨各个在为这些给我些各位的不松拉所瓦的各位的不松让主托拉阿涅斯林巴吉达宣布所在马梅在拉桑塞在托巴人不切特别所见松拉所瓦的特别所见松拉所瓦的马瓦达梅追求想要多要为天让滚的将被呀那么吞心跑出路着想马尾素叶松拉所瓦马尾素叶松拉所瓦的怕被公巴三在大瓦塔这些图我日被苦求切要塞日被苦求你被想日黄求松拉所瓦的所瓦的等着三七十四八一新大宣布世界马梅在俺上世界顿巴人波切咱们跟你拉所瓦的咱们跟有你拉所瓦的我能就往就等等过吧我什么听见的那说吧都为的那滚在他妈吧他过着没送拉所瓦的他过着没送拉所瓦的准备住吧和人那身上准备去那当卡有不能记得去也旁边身上上要是上不下那所瓦的要是所瓦的长久拖延着我佛人些他别他也是所经验你都着我这辈是年初他个要是下那所瓦的他个要是下那所瓦的要为动作是念不动那觉得了他为小了我那觉得也搞不起搞周围人工送了所谓的周围人工送了所谓的龙多俺的上山去不把去没龙也往求给别求他送周围公布人不去那点全部送了所谓的那点全部送了所谓的南大村鸟的上线把都瓦公的鸟的从哪瓦各问叫做他是么着瓦这位真把送了所谓的这位真把送了所谓的杀进叫去去了俺年辈叫的着瓦公的叫所有现在上不登也在把本的拉美上了所谓的本的拉美上了所谓的文主别往学全部素质跑了千年组织电子是奴天高浪也有将也高 Gawe sebo son la so wade, gawe sebo son la so wade, me jo yun den zi zi sang ye ben, tam be shin na nang ka ya bo da, ji den chu ye bang be sen ge sang, gya se sang bu sha la so wade, ra se sang bu sha la so wade, chang ju tu ye ru bu bu xin se la be la ye je su. 几个老的都着我这的是你，在上拉所我的那个叫在上拉所我的我明白在为的是真人，真没看别红波将别样看见看别祖业从他罗桑茶别上拉所我的罗桑茶别上拉所我的。 这辈王学将别家做当给这马为你马给来呗，研究他们自己把所觉，他们拉马送拉送我，他们拉马送拉送我的，送着过年去也多节，不送我给给我撒把弄多马达三给一些下，给着全部送拉送。 我的给着全部送了所我的罗山群，要在这边这的土色滚出要在下，南沙在这罗山也是的，这次拉马送了所我的，这次拉马送了所我的，土的白在我娃长把，这也土色罗山年长下，要做到人的。 他也啊，听见喇嘛送了送我的，听见喇嘛送了送我的，罗萨也是。上不着个能着的，罗萨也别就是今年把子。喇嘛送了送我的，从来喇嘛送了送我的，叫上能着西边龙多的，接着你给的那。 当着我把人家们早为老妈了，过送给我全部送我的，过送给我全部送我的，忙着他们把那香味给过来给，人家这边是大数年色，叫上都见没色混的呢，天天开着香拉送我的，天天开着香拉送我的，厕所讲的忙着。 别过罗桑江巴那些着耶稣，听着公主叫斯托，听见这别过拉索我的，听见这别过拉索我的，唱把子的拉索旁诺耶都觉来，叫的这别做那些真的叫索过天远，家姐子拉玛索我的。 家姐子拉玛送我的罗桑叫我问爹一些，你这多前面叫的这边走，让家给我叫做主的。听见拉美上拉送我的，听见拉美上拉送我的。 我忘了三叫的你过所，今天叫在老的出文书，是说我有从把没白心，把这边的拉索我的，我要这我要的拉索我的，没中落着上不叫我的，别拉几面当着追一只渴望高夜忙着诺不。 他也都结果拉索我的，他也都结果拉索我的，让家索拉公拉到外面，开上他把这边中，就这位这边他们在摆。 现在些年那拉索我的，现在些年那拉索我的，我的拉面那把他瓦拉给这怎样落到没给。 现在来把中文母语给拉美些拉三拉九八九。
Those who are not familiar with the Tibetan, please read in English the Lamrim prayer, the prayer of the graduate path to enlightenment. and those familiar with Tibetan, then please recite Tibetan. So maybe more beneficial this way.
Foundation of Good Qualities, page 21, 22. 我用灯供业虚有真真真所觉的宝浪界造化来把当年白把多玛一个把真白天把它真知连接把天把它真知连接你个真真是个年节工作年不连白了军节没把节我真知军节没把节我了真知如所有我注意主心有多级别节我真把七月节所略大芝麻节干那连节节张瓦涅巴登波涅涅大仙张瓦能将波瓦登给所大丹主巴节大多巴丹登巴拉金节罗大多巴丹登巴拉金节节别明我东爱坤金古耶列米罗西别本座年灭人年他别的瓦拉对年真波节瓦拉金节对年真波节瓦金节南大三百的一张八一天大西仙八月真波天别早瓦所所来他瓦兰主瓦尼波节波来金节若尼波节波来金节让你随所龙瓦西仙东马有着瓦滚江den童年着瓦着别古节别强着三着中波来金节强着三着中波来金节节家村这南宋拉宽巴面那长住面住两巴拉童年节节东巴拉装巴这边老瓦金节装巴这边老瓦金节老白有啦养瓦西节真养啦对啦最近这吧千年郎多送多这边啦女多就啦节瓦金节女多就啦节瓦的金节他妈南家那多就把那条把棍节就人多是就我他妈点的啦女多就把那金节乱的女多就把那金节天界公主南年之位西南大当在东巴松瓦叫嘛面边也把你就那所当都得松瓦金所当都得松瓦的金节罗的人有的人不的你那那季节东南怎把也东西南着着来米往东北松仙竹把金节坦白松仙竹把金节罗的大浪上东北金节节节这边中南马家店节节到南个巴多这边年娃西娃金节老多年娃来西娃金节老多呀娃滚多养大拉马当当面举节白拉龙节节大大拉个有点让多多节整个过吧哟 ju no ba za bu me a hu wa je sa ge ye ja re go ye ge go we wo so re kya go re ra sha du ma go san bo le no ba la shi jan zha mi ni lu dang du ba nga ya da nga ya xin yu den dang la qiu zhe zhe mi nian da zhe mi nian ge da rinpoche ri wo ba sang ye xin de zhe ba ma me ba yi lo do go lo rinpoche no bo rinpoche zu mo rinpoche lon bo rinpoche lang bo rinpoche da xiu rinpoche ma bo rinpoche de chen bo yi feng ba ye ma chen wa ma lu ma ga ra ma me do ma du bu ma ni ja ma ni ma da wa rinpoche do ju le nam pa ge wen ge se lo su la da mi ben ju le pun song so ba ma song wa me ba zang yin yi do wang wa di da chen xian za wa yu ba xie ben ba nan la ma dan ba nan da ke ba du yang yong zong ten be nga da jie zi lo san ge den jie de wang xiu be sang xian a ne te ba xian bo song xue san mo shi wei yuan du xin gan bu wai ge tu jie zhe wen dun du xie su su xie ne jiang da so zhou wa ma yu ren nan ge tan Ngam be sem jen tam je la tu ze wa chen bo ku te xin ge la du zu za ji ben ge yo ji me de na mandala ya da ya ni
Sanje
Shudang Soge Shonam Ma Janjo Padu Dani Kyabu Chi Dagi Chunye Gibe Sidangi Rola Penchara Sangye Rupa Shudang Soge Shonam Ma Janjo Padu Dani Kyabu Chi Dagi Chunye Gibe Sidangi Rola Penchara Sangye Rupa
Sanje
Shudang Soge Shonam Ma Janjo Padu Dani Kyabu Chi Dagi Chunye Gibe Sidangi Rola Penchara Sangye Rupa So for the sake of all mother sentient beings throughout the limits of space, one must by every means try to attain the state of full enlightenment or Buddhahood, and for this purpose one should now listen to these teachings on the graduated path of enlightenment. So please adjust your motivation, clarify your motivation in such a way. Yes.
Consemba Javane Reda Javasuna Tamjin, Ne Deba Shindaji Moduru, the Tomani Jelanso Panyame Chuoja, Ate Shadon, Kazuchi Joson Kabaji Moninji, Toji Chuchon, Damba Samo Nambatam Jechima, Sadrobe, Chivencho, Chulu, Chivason Namjerima, Tamjima, Meba, Tombe.
So the teaching you're listening today is that which contains the essence of all the teachings of the Buddha, and also a teaching that contains the tradition of both the both trailblazers, Asanga and Nagarjuna, as well as the teachings, the essence. These teachings are like the heart essence of the great Choje Tisha, Lama Tisha, as well as Jezongkaba, like the essence of their instructions. These profound instructions also contain all the essential instructions of practice within them, and this is called the graduated path to enlightenment, Lamrim Chenmo. So what is being taught today is this particular text. Yes.
Jamdo Kapche, Jamdo, Dada Jamdo, Yonde, she began the jobs in Roa, say, then Yonde de la Sonji Gunjo Yonde, Chugunjo Yonde, Gendu Gunjo Yonde, Tin Longeda, Sonji Gunjo Yonde de la Yon, Gui Yonde, Songi Yonde. Toji Yonde, Chenen Yondes, Jeobe Nogeda, Godo Songe Yonde Shusaji, and then that Togi Yonde in some name.
So here in the text itself, root text itself, we have arrived upon the section of refuge, and within this section of refuge, one talks about going for refuge to three jewels through knowing their qualities. So so when we talk about the qualities of the three jewels, they're mentioned separately: the qualities of the Buddha jewel, the qualities of the Dharma jewel, and the qualities of the Sangha jewel. And firstly, up to the section on the qualities of the Buddha jewel, these are once again divided into three sections: those of the qualities of the holy body, the qualities of the holy speech, as well as the qualities of the holy mind, and another section which is the qualities of the enlightened activities. And within these four sections, we have covered the first two, the qualities of the holy body as well as the holy speech, And now we come to qualities of the holy mind, which you can find in your root text on page 183. Yes.
이 말이다. 토지 연대나 그러다 첨배 연대나 제회 연대 니지 이 말이다. 제다 토지 연대나 단다. 사면시대에 니지세 하는 데게 뭐뭐여와 요나요 단다 그러다 현도제야게 그게 추승야라 순주 동원대 제다와지는 첨바 제다 대연의 제외용게 순야지고 아닌데 제대니게 용대데 소원이 말.
So here, the qualities of the holy mind, these are divided into two sections. Firstly, the first section talks about the qualities of the knowledge or the omniscient mind of the Buddha. And the second section talks about the qualities of caring or the qualities of compassion of the Buddha's holy mind. So then with regards to the Buddha's omniscient mind, the profound, simultaneously born wisdom, then the Buddha constantly performs actions to benefit, accomplishes the works of others. And in the process of doing so, the Buddha, the way of doing that is the Buddha teaches the Dharma. And when the process of teaching the Dharma, the Buddha understands the exact nature of sentient beings' minds, the minds of the disciples, through its omniscient wisdom, and through its great compassion. And then the Buddha teaches the Dharma in order to benefit the disciples.
제다와당 제녀바세 니인거지. 다시자 제다와세야다. 그래네 동남된바. 세야다 동반이라는 제다와세기와지. 그게 그런 내서 논서 단 돈바지 제다와지 내바인데 제다와세 아닌 말. 다 제녀바세야데 시자 자체와 병오다 남론의 야모모 요대에 이제 진예바제 임발에 대답에는 시자 제다와서 진예바 탐지 좀 내내게 세윤데다 토바매바 그 지금 말을 받아 난데도 줄으라고 놈바샤바다 쳔바인스 이제 줄으라 놈바 난데도 야윤도 거는 거기에 돈 모여야지 제 예면 통 농은 통 아니 뭐가 라비를 못 되니까 통돼야지 요한인데 좀 내는 시자 세대는 권한이 더 매되게 강가는 친놈에 세대니 되는지 요한인데 난데도 저러 라시아보다 쳔바 도바면 안 주스서.
So then the Buddha's holy mind is able to comprehend the entirety of all the objects of knowledge, and this is divided what we call the here it says the real nature, or the true nature of things as they are, and as well as the diversity of all phenomena. So when we talk about the true real nature or the true nature of things as they are, you're talking about the ultimate nature of all phenomena, which here refers to the state of emptiness, whereby the way that things exist are in harmony with the way that things appear, and the appearance of things as well as their true nature of abiding is simultaneous. So the Buddha is able to see that, or see that in concordance or in harmony. And also the Buddha is able to see the vast variety of all phenomena, diversity of all phenomena, whereby all the objects of knowledge, the Buddha is able to see all the nature of all objects of knowledge, their different classifications as well as their divisions, all the diversities. The Buddha is able to see all of that simultaneously. So when the Buddha sees all phenomena, then there's absolutely no obstruction to the Buddha's view of phenomena, or perception of phenomena. It's totally unobstructed. And here the analogy is given of that of a datri fruit. This is a Sanskrit term. In Tibetan we call it kirura, which is a specific fruit which is said to be extremely clear in nature, whereby if you were to hold it in the palm of your hand, then you'll be able to see its external form of the fruit, as well as see the internal contents of the fruit, as well as see right through the fruit and see even the lines on the palm of your hand, the palm of the hand that is holding the fruit. So this is the nature of this daughtry fruit, that should be so clear that you can see right through it, outside, inside, everything. So in this way, the Buddha perceives phenomena that is absolutely clear and unobstructed. Everything is totally seen by the Buddha. So this is the qualities of the Buddha's holy mind. Yes. So then the text further goes to talk about that all the Buddhas, all the objects of knowledge are actually known by the Buddha, totally known by the Buddha's omniscient mind. And there is no one particular object or phenomena, no one object of knowledge that is not pervaded by the Buddha's omniscient mind, that is left out by the Buddha's omniscient mind. So therefore, the Buddha's omniscient mind totally pervades the entirety of all the objects of knowledge. And in comparison to that, then those who have not attained the state of Buddhahood, for example, like the arhats, these solitary realizers, the Pratyeka Buddhas, the hearers, the arhats, as well as even the 10th ground bodhisattvas, do not possess this quality of the omniscient mind. Therefore, they still have some objects of knowledge that are left out within their scope of knowledge. So therefore, they do not possess this quality of omniscience like the Buddha. And also in the text, it goes on to say that thus the sage's knowledge comprehends all phenomena, whereas others' limited knowledge cannot comprehend the vast objects that are to be known. So this, in Tibetan, the rough translation talks about in comparison to the Buddha's vast knowledge of the entirety of all phenomena, the other beings who have not attained Buddhahood, their knowledge is limited and therefore cannot pervade the entirety of all phenomena, just like the Buddha's omniscient mind does. So therefore, here it talks about the Buddha's omniscient mind being unexcelled or unpervaded by the limited knowledge and wisdom of beings who have not attained Buddhahood. Yes. Yes. So, for example, what objects of knowledge are unknown to others other than the Buddhas? For example, like the secrets of the holy body, holy speech, and holy minds of the Buddhas. These secrets are inconceivable, and therefore unknown to those who have not attained the state of omniscience. And also, the subtle workings of karma, the subtle workings of cause and effect, all these are not known by beings other than the Buddhas. Therefore, it is said that those who have not attained Buddhahood, their knowledge does not pervade that of the Buddha. Yes. So as mentioned yesterday, when we're talking about the section pertaining to the holy speech of the Buddha, we said that the Buddha has this ability to reply to all the questions of the present in the audience simultaneously, at one time, simultaneously, by uttering just one single utterance through one single utterance, the Buddha is able to reply to all the questions of the audience. So here, when we're talking about the qualities of the Buddha's holy mind, also the Buddha is able to simultaneously, at one time, penetrate the thoughts of all the audience, of all phenomena, within one very single instant. The Buddha is able to know all phenomena within an instant. Yes.
시바티 시작한가 체마도 인자 시작하나 하고나 시작하다 그래서다 많이 다기 돈다 로자리 시당
So then the text it goes further to quote from this word called the praise and honor of one worthy of honor. And here it says, only your sublime wisdom. Here your refers to the Buddha, and the sublime wisdom to a state of omniscience. And it comprehends all the objects of knowledge, totally pervades all the objects of knowledge. For everyone other than you, so here you again refers to the Buddha. And everyone is referring to those who have not attained the state of Buddhahood, like the Arhats, the particular Buddhas, and the Bodhisattvas. And all these beings, for all their realizations, have not achieved such omniscience. Therefore, for them, there are objects yet to be known. So therefore, their knowledge is limited. It cannot pervade the scope, the same amount of scope, just like the Buddha's omniscient mind does. Yes.
남조 단다 남조서 권은 용모서도 남조서 니 거여와 고바 좀래도 제발아 근데 권은 용모서 쓰여지 근데 다바 좀래도 제발아 남조서 쓰여지 근데 남세인데 남조서 군종아 세인데 권은 용모서 좀래 대탐지 나한테도 저러라 잡아다 제행거려서
So then the verse here is this, following verse says, O Bhagavan, the entire origination of all types of phenomena throughout time is within the range of your mind, like an unbalance fruit in the palm of your hand. And here, when you talk about the throughout time, it actually refers to the three states of time, which is the past, the present, and future. And here, all these phenomena that arise within these three periods of time, are three divisions of time, are simultaneously known by the Buddha's holy mind. So that there is a particular line in the Tibetan verse which is not so apparent in the translation here. It actually talks about all afflictive phenomena as well as purified phenomena. All these two different classifications of phenomena are also simultaneously known by the Buddha's holy mind. And here it says, like an unbalanced fruit in the palm of your hand. This unbalanced fruit is again another name for the Datri fruit, or the Gurura fruit, which is actually the same thing that we were talking about before. Yes.
주는 요도 매요지 제도 나서 소소는 카다 논다 지와에 휴지 토도 도면아 뭐다 준 주탐제 대형 요와도 메요와다 요와 생윤도 주지 sem년다고 메요와서 노진지 된다고 다 대란 예언의 제던 다 돼서 한다 뭐도 야면도 남만나서 봐 간지 요나요 대단한 쳔바 토바면 봐 주거래 대요 남가 농주윤도거나 토바면 봐지 대노신 좀 내게 토바요 말해서 소원
Yes. So then the next verse says, like the wind moving across the sky, your mind is unimpeded with respect to the single and the manifold animate and inanimate phenomena. So here, animate and inanimate phenomena refers to the sentient beings and the universes that they reside within, what we call the container universe, as well as the beings residing within them. So here, all these are seen simultaneously by the Buddha's holy mind, individually, as well as their manifold aspects, the diversities, the classifications, and so forth. All these are totally perceived by the Buddha's holy mind in all its entirety, in an unimpeded way, unobstructed way. And the analogy of that is like the wind moving across the sky. When the wind is moving across the sky, then there is absolutely no impediment or obstruction to its movement. So this is like an analogy of how the Buddha perceives the entirety of phenomena, how the entirety of phenomena is contained within the Buddha's perception of holy mind. Yes.
임바다 손젤레 젬바다 니노 소슴 소지 그게 시작하려니나 대라파 공부지 연구거나 엔체도 봐. 다 대해서 선놈아 동안이나 에 가도도 맞제도 된대 용기요래. 다 손이 좀 내는 매와 가도이나 그게 란델의 요다 노시 색돼야지. 그게 공부 그다 단다. 그래서 니로 조선소 노시는 그게 공부지 먹고 가도이나요. 체인돼야지. 손이 용돼 임바래.
So, in the case, for example, like the Arhats, the Pradika Buddhas, and the Bodhisattvas, these holy beings, for all their attainments, they are unable to, they only perceive phenomena when they make the intention to perceive it. When they make intention to know that object of knowledge, then there is an actual intention, then that the knowledge actually comes to them, then they can actually perceive it. But when they do not have that mental intention, then that object of knowledge is not simultaneously or present in their perception all the time. So unlike that, the Buddha has omniscient mind, just like seeing the curious fruit in his hand, his or her hand. The Buddha does not have such obstructions. The Buddha sees all phenomena simultaneously at all times without any actual effort of mental intention. Yes.
나 손제가는 쳔바 토바면 가도이나 세대와 된데인데 응아론서 단다 다 좀 간대지 있나요? 근데 손제 가도이나 세세마 차득이요래 된데 연자 그게 다 손제 좀 내가 꿈되나 단다 간가 세네 데여다 인데 근데 손제라 그거다 그래 근데 다 신노다 된거 거는 드범거만 셈치톱제야 데레고요 말이야 근데 제외에는 안에 뒤에는 손지 지수 좀 용기하지 근데 손지 지수 좀 고민도 거는 집에 있잖아요 안에 손지 지수 좀 근데 좀 얘나 안에 그래 때에서 못 터야 손지 전인데 시간이나 안에 손은 로야 용거 손은 로 말와 근데 게네 그래서 쳔바 토바면 나데와 뒤꿈디네요 삼바치 고요.
So, because of this quality, so the Buddha's omniscient mind is totally unobstructed, and all phenomena entirely are perceived within the Buddha's omniscient mind at all times without any effort or mental intention. So therefore, all our actions of body, speech, and mind are totally seen by the Buddha at all times. So therefore, we should always visualize the Buddha, remember the Buddha, and since remembering the Buddha's omniscient mind and in the presence of the Buddha, one should one should act in a very respectful way at all times. One should also be fearful of negative or evil actions. And also, in accordance with the Sutra of remembering the Buddha, one should at all times recall the Buddha, bring the Buddha to mind. And through remembering the Buddha in this way, then at the time of death, one will be able to bring the Buddha to mind at the time of death also. And when that occurs, then one would definitely achieve a good rebirth. Because if one dies with the thought of the Buddha, then one would not be reborn in the lower realms at the time of death. So therefore one should at all times remember the Buddha, bring the Buddha to mind and visualize the presence of the Buddha. Yes.
로완남 동아와 세바나 투제지무 준제메바 제데 소 레다 뇽모마 bombe 공사 탐제네 뇽모로메바 쟁데 요지 인다 로나 로메바 뇽모 신원데 주반인다 뇽모 쟁바지 다 투바선제 좀 내요 거기 니지무 로메바 쟁데 비서노 단인제지 뭐 원도 절대야 단리지 용이 아닌 말에 다 단리인도 로아동아와 세바나 근데 좀 내내 투제 주지매 봐다 가도 있나 보기 투제 요요마 단리지 그래서
Next we talk about the quality of good qualities of caring or compassion within the Buddha's holy mind. And it says here, in the same way the living beings are bound inescapably by the inflictions, so is the sage bound by great compassion, which thus arises continuously as he beholds the suffering of living beings. So here we talk about the Buddha totally bound by the mind of great compassion towards those sentient beings who by nature have not abandoned their mental afflictions, their delusions. So therefore, towards these beings, the Buddha has only compassion at all times. The Buddha arises compassion in a very natural way, what we call helplessly, generate compassion towards, arises compassion in the mind of the Buddha towards sentient beings. And this compassion arises continuously. This compassion also is also present in a ceaseless manner until sentient beings are totally freed from their sufferings. The compassion in the mind of the Buddhas are constantly arising and ceaseless at all times. Yes.
돈벌초다 차지함 온데 공근 고발초 정치 유린 대답의 중지 투지 제라 제스 인자 단다 좀 된데 고비 좀 챙겨요레스 고비니 좀 쓰게 요레 이나요 네 농가진 나베 sem제나 드베 체드 네 그래다 그게 sem제나 지수 좀이 체드는 드베 남아 맨라 몽보 땡지 유르모 네 고베 내를 쇼데야 돼 닌지신부 제기요레 인자다 돈버초의 차제가 인도 에네 로바 드베 체드 고바의 유르모 요데 중에 요중에다 닌지신부 차대요 인데 돈버초의 차제가 인다 닌지신부의 차제가 인 태성사도 세야서는 소원이 말.
So here, the text further goes on to quote from another text called the Praise in 150 Verses. So here the first verse says, "The afflictions bind all these beings without exception. You, in order to release them from the afflictions, are eternally bound by compassion." So this verse basically explains what we said before about the Buddha's holy mind constantly arising great compassion in a ceaseless manner towards the suffering sentient beings. And then the next line says, next verse says, should I first make obeisance to you, or to the great compassion that causes you to dwell for so long in cyclic existence, despite knowing its faults? So here it says about the Buddha, the Bhagavan Buddha, although knowing the faults of cyclic existence and perceiving the faults of cyclic existence, but for the sake of all sentient beings who are totally plagued by suffering, in order to guide them and in order to care for them, then the Buddha displays many emanations within the scope of cyclic existence, and remain within cyclic existence for a long periods of time, in order to care for these suffering sentient beings by the force of its great compassion. So therefore here the author is expressing his doubt as to whether he should first prostrate to the Bhagavan Buddha for his great compassion, or to prostrate towards great compassion itself. Which one should he prostrate to first? This is expressing his hesitancy towards the object of frustration, because of the quality of great compassion. Yes. So here, then further goes on to quote the chapter, The Truth Speaker. And here it says, the Supreme Sage feels great compassion when he sees beings whose minds are constantly obscured by the dark gloom of ignorance, locked in the prison of cyclic existence. So here, it talks about the Buddha, the Bhagavan Buddha, feeling great compassion towards those sentient beings. And here it says, sentient beings whose minds are constantly obscured by the dark gloom of ignorance. So here, sentient beings with regards to karma or actions, what is to be taken up as practice and what is meant to be discarded or abandoned. With regards to these two, what is to be taken and what is to be abandoned, then the sentient beings are totally ignorant with regards to these two. So therefore, this ignorance is given an analogy of darkness, or the dark gloom of ignorance. And therefore, because this dark gloom of ignorance obscures the mind, this ignorance obscures the mind. So therefore, it is compared to darkness or fogginess. So, because of this ignorance, sentient beings create karma, and then they wander within cyclic existence. So, therefore, the initial cause for cyclic existence is the karma as well as the mental afflictions. So here, it talks about the dark room of ignorance. This is the referring to the cause of samsara. And then it says, locked in the prison of cyclic existence. So this is the result of karma and afflictions. So here, sentient beings wander within samsara, which is like a prison. They're caught up in this cyclic existence, given an analogy of a prison. And then it says the great sage feels, supreme sage feels great compassion. So generally, sages refer to people whose minds are honest and they speak words of truth. So therefore, amongst sages, the best of sages, or the supreme of sages, is the Bhagavan Buddha. So here, the supreme sage refers to the Bhagavan Buddha, who feels great compassion for the suffering sentient beings. Yes.
Dobe sejin nombe yinen dance da doba dojage sejin none imbar pege dan ngoza te yoga sama nyam loge taba yida demba tende da ene seba cheje da de yogam da se da doja seba cheje se de ene doja cheba da yola kamba se yundu doja shu cha jima imbar yogam 대답에는 세빈 도자 다 잠자다고 배 된대잖아요. 도자 잠자다고 논데 도자 용원데 전에 다 도자 잠자다고 논데 통대와 된대세 이유도 거나 네 자와 도마 좀 된대. 그래다 자와세 이유도 뒤에 요데 자와세 뒤에 요데 자베 자와데 투지 뭐 제기 어레스 제기래서 많이 말.
So then the next verse says, the conqueror feels great compassion when he sees beings whose minds are overwhelmed by attachment, who have great craving and always long for sensory objects, and who have fallen into the ocean of cravings attachment. So here Buddha has great compassion not only for those beings who are obscured by ignorance, as mentioned in the previous stanza. And here it says the Buddha has great compassion also for those beings who are overwhelmed by attachment. And it says here, those beings whose minds are overwhelmed by attachment, in the sense of shamelessly and without any sense of guilt, pursuing attachment or the objects of attachment. And they have great craving and also always longing for sensory objects. So those beings who are overwhelmed, extremely overwhelmed by desire, and for them they're like as if they're fallen into an ocean and unable to save themselves. So here, cravings attachment is given an analogy of an ocean, and for those beings who have fallen into this ocean of craving attachment, then the Buddha has great compassion towards these beings. And here, the Buddha is given now the epithet of the conqueror, the title of the conqueror. And the reason why Buddha is being addressed as a conqueror is because the Buddha is totally victorious, or has conquered the four maras, the four types of demons. So therefore, the Buddha is totally victorious over the four types of demons, the four maras. So therefore, the Buddha is given the title of the conqueror. Yes.
Imata legend reveal not dengege tanda lula neda. And send young number not over Dunga Momboga Nardengue, a shind, they on Dunga shind the ziba. Data when the Jegun Zayundu, so yata, Jegos, Jegos, then the Joe Yodojo la Kone, and the Jevos at Simjet Tamji, Jegos in the Tender Koya Yorua, Jegos. Tayo Tonga go to Zivina. 노반의 심표네 농감성 메소 제바 되겠어. 근데 송감네 심표네 농감성 메감 제바소. 조메감네 심표네 은감성 제바 농감성 메소 제바 솜솜 제네 된대고 대노는 만들비 아니 고압이 심제 매버리. 된대인데 대답에 제고 뉴몽게 신도 지되게 대제게 제세 용도 임바체고 뉴몽 남노세다 뉴몽세한데 그게 시버집이 뉴몽으로 거면 거지 동아베 나르데 아요 뇽몽바스 세 고기요리 근데 근데 세 연두거나 대답에 동아 말레사데 도병에 투지 랍데 제 소리 근데 제다 섬제 담제다 년제 용거와 이 너네 좀 신의 냠파고 누가지 신의 지된 게 제거되라 근데 투지 사과도 제기 와인 말 이제 되게 투지 랍도 제스 숨말
So then the next verse says, the next stanza says, the one possessing the 10 powers feels compassion which seeks to dispel all suffering. When he sees the afflictions of beings harmed by a multitude of illnesses and miseries. So here the one possessing 10 powers is another title of the Buddha. And here it talks about when the Buddha sees beings being tormented by multitudes of sicknesses as well as miseries, then the Buddha generates great compassion towards these beings. And here there is a specific term in Tibetan called Gegu, which refers to sentient beings being extremely harmed or tormented by misery and suffering. And this is one translation of that. The literal term of Gegu is the 9 types of rebirth. And here the 9 types of rebirth is an actual way of classifying the different kinds of beings. So in general, within cyclic existence is divided into the 3 realms of the form desire realm, the form realm, as well as the formless realm. So these 3 realms. And for beings who die within the desire realm and take rebirth in either of these 3 realms, take rebirth in the desire realm, take rebirth in the form realm, take rebirth in the formless realm, these are 3 types of beings. Then those beings who die within the form realm and take rebirth in the 3 realms of desire, form, and formless. Again, these are 3 more types of beings. And those beings who die within the formless realm and take rebirth in the desire, form, and formless realm. Again, these are 3 types of beings. So altogether, these add up to 9 kinds of beings, or 9 types of beings, sentient beings, migrators. So therefore, there are no sentient beings or no migrators of cyclic existence that are not included within this classification, these 9 classes. So therefore, here, all these beings are extremely tormented by delusions, extremely tormented by different kinds of suffering and miseries. So therefore, the Buddha generates great compassion. So here, there's one term that's not so apparent in English, which means that the Buddha generates compassion. The Buddha has compassion for sentient beings in general. But in Tibetan, there's one particular term in this verse, which says that the Buddha has great compassion towards sentient beings in general. But in particular to those beings who are extremely afflicted or tormented by suffering, the Buddha has intense compassion or greater compassion, intense compassion towards those who suffer even more. So this term is not so apparent here in English, but it is found in Tibetan. Yes.
특별 투지 좀 보다 안 좋은데 대면정은 나요 쓰면 저러스 도바 손지 좀 내게 단다 누가 지나서 semjenla 근데 ninje 제야테 되다도 제제 말해 근데 ninje 면용 가벼워 말해서 말해 대형 단다 그래다 옛날이나 그게 다 대니 지자도 없으면钱두고요 말이 되면도 완전자 동반이나 저는 양발 자용 버가블라 인증원조도 제야 매든게 내가 놓은 단다 근데 시다 전에 방 없으면 钱만 와 된다 차대요 다 도봐서 좀 냈네 근데 대닝 와 다된 zembe 좀 마세 발봉바 인자 데이터지 내만인가 직접도 원성도 색도요 근데 인자 도지지 뭐 문제를 값다는 매대게 이 말이다 돼 들리용이야지
So then the next stanza says the sage's compassion arises constantly. It is impossible for it not to do so. So here the sage refers again to the Buddha, that the sage Buddha's compassion towards all sentient beings arises at all times. There's absolutely no period of time where the Buddha's compassion is not present. And in comparison to that, the other beings who have not attained Buddhahood, their compassion is unable to be ceaseless like the Buddha's, because there are some points in time whereby they enter, because they do not possess the qualities of omniscience, being able to see all objects of knowledge simultaneously at all times. There are moments of time whereby they enter into absorption meditation on emptiness, and those periods of time they do not generate compassion, do not arise compassion, because they're totally absorbed in meditation on emptiness, and therefore, the Buddha has such omniscient mind. The Buddha is able to see all phenomena simultaneously at all times. And the Buddha has totally abandoned all the obscurations to omniscience. So therefore the Buddha is able to see both the conventional and ultimate truths simultaneously at all times, as well as all the objects of knowledge. So therefore, due to that fact, the Buddha at all times has compassion. There's absolutely no time where the Buddha's compassion does not arise. Yes.
로아군지 삼번내 받아 대외 손제들라 좀은가 시승보다 점버자고서 이 말이다 로아군지 삼번내 내바데 삼마지다와지는 쳔바 데려다 송에는 내바데 나 좀세 다기 공원도 투제 제비 좀세 송송가 좀세 다다 때네 투바 손제 좀 내는데 대라 그다 좋은 남바 탐지도 뭔가 말이 종제를 탐지세 자지 용대를 탐지 소관인도 좀 뭔가 와인 송아인 말.
So then the next line in the stanza says, the Buddha is free of faults because he's concerned with the needs of all living beings. So the Buddha is able to perceive the needs of all sentient beings simultaneously, as well as their nature, the actual nature of sentient beings as they are, with its omniscient wisdom. Then so therefore, based on these different reasons, we can understand that the Buddha's mind is totally compassionate, and also the Buddha's omniscient wisdom is totally unhindered, unobstructed at all times, simply because the Buddha's holy mind possesses the quality of having seized all the various types of faults, and also possesses the qualities of having completed all the various types of good qualities. Yes.
마지 종제를 세야 자원인자 아니 좀 뭔가서네 임바레데 단대가다 제나 단다 투지 진부 되다는데 투지 진부 예원되죠. 예전 인지 진부 민정을 값싸는 매 받지니 인지 진부 요인자 뒤에 종제 고값이서 놓지 단대 연대 삼나 삼요인.
So here in this verse is even though we say the Buddha has a quality of having exhausted or seized all the various types of faults, therefore the Buddha is unstained or free of faults. Here in this line, this particular line, it refers to the Buddha possessing compassion that is ceaseless. The Buddha at all times is influenced by the mind of great compassion. Therefore, there is not one period of time whereby the Buddha does not have compassion towards sentient beings. So here, the particular fault that the Buddha is free of in this particular line, this content, refers to the fault of not having compassion. So there's no such period of time present within the Buddha's lacking the Buddha's compassion. So therefore, there's no period of time where the Buddha is lacking compassion. So therefore, the Buddha is free of such faults. Yes.
challenge on this. Going on the song on the Toji on the challenge on this. Tajiba challenge on the but challenge on this. 대단히 고인 전에 구성 고도 송도 도진 전에서 고성도가 전에서 섬지 된전 전에 대요 현지 주바도 주민지 번인지 고네 심지단지의 편도 번제바고 임바다 손제게 두지 돈 제용도 대라 랭아 로바남니 내가서는 가지 좀 송고바도 초사 된전에 두지 돈 제약이 두지 돈 주비하게 체되는 총리자지 모사바 인자 손제용도 고는 전에 현지 주바지 현지 주바서 베스트한테 뜨먹어 봐 그래 밖에 전에 조조조요 인도 전에 현지 주바지 다 대용하니 주인체야 매와 되는 얘기거는 삼고래서 소모지.
Then we move on to the next section about the qualities of enlightened activities. So with regards to the prior to this, we talked about the qualities of the Buddha's holy speech, holy body, holy speech, and holy mind. And now we move to the fourth aspect, which is the good qualities of the Buddha's enlightened activities. And within this again, it mentions about the good qualities of the enlightened activities of holy body, holy speech, and holy mind, respectively. And here it says these enlightened activities are spontaneous and everlasting. So spontaneously accomplished and also possessing great compassion at all times towards sentient beings. So the Buddha's activities, enlightened activities to benefit the disciples or the objects to be tamed, which are referring to the disciples. So the Buddha accomplishes the purpose of these disciples because spontaneously, because when prior to achieving Buddhahood, the Buddha over a period of three great countless eons had performed various means to accumulate the causes for achieving Buddhahood, solely with a sole intention of accomplishing the purposes of the disciples or benefiting the disciples. So therefore, due to that fact, when having done that, and when the Buddha achieved Buddhahood, all of its activities to benefit the objects to be tamed, the disciples, then all these activities are spontaneously accomplished. Therefore, because it's spontaneously accomplished, they totally require no effort at all from the side of the Buddha. It is totally effortless and spontaneous, and is ceaseless. Is ever ready to perform to benefit the disciples. So therefore, this is the quality of the enlightened activities, and it's done through great compassion. Yes.
Dan chalens sena dan zeban chalens sonjin zebadala chalens ge yorwa 대형 당도 시사마지가 있는 자와 대라는 다 시사제된 제바는 전에 된다서 말이 대제도다 거에 전에 송에 전에 도진 전에서야 그래 걸레 다 총전 나서 때네 뒤두지 이 동안 제바다보다 영어 거에 어선주 어제지 리과 삼지 그래다 용화 센로야 된대 용이어래 대답하는 거인 제바 거인 전에서 다 송견 제바다 도자도 주된 바 대인 말에 인자 전에 소원 주된 바데 송이어래 다 도진 전에서야 내가 아니 뭐 손이 좀 낸게 도지 공부시에네 진질랍 된대 제용도네 도지지가 계심제야 대가 노진의 스모트에서 나래요 취지자 톱된 용이야 된대 용이어래 그래서 도지 전에서 요래 단다 도지주라는 개와지야 탐지네 도지 전에 인생 난득이 왔다 이시 죽은 전에 인생 바로 나 도지 전에서 다 자치 무작요
음식이 토이 전에 노진산 심보
진질남네 노진의 심보 나래 취지자 톱대가 시요야
So then when talk about the qualities of the Buddha's enlightened activities, here Rinpoche was explaining about 3 different terms in Tibetan language. Chawa, which means is like an ordinary term, referring to our ordinary activities that we do, our work in general. And then if you use a respectful term in Lhasa dialect, then you say Zeba, which refers to like the deeds of the Buddha. And then there is even a higher term which we talk about, the Buddha's enlightened activities, which is the word Chinle. So this is the difference of these 3 terms Rinpoche was explaining. And here we're talking about Chinle, or the enlightened activities of the Buddha. And here, for example, the holy body, the enlightened activities of the holy body, the Buddha can manifest various miraculous activities or miraculous emanations from its holy body, as well as flows of nectar and so forth, as well as light rays emanating from the pores of the Buddha's holy body. And those who are touched by these light rays are immediate cease of all their sufferings. So therefore experience a cessation of their sufferings. So this is the qualities of the Buddha's holy body's enlightened activities. And for those enlightened activities of the holy speech, then the Buddha, through the holy speech, is able to teach the holy Dharma. So this enlightened activity of holy speech is considered the main enlightened activity of the Buddhas. Then with regards to the enlightened activity of the holy mind, then the Bhagavan Buddha is able to, through its mental intention, through its holy intention, is able to bless different beings and bring about certain activities. For example, in the case of like certain demons, what we call the rakshas, the harm givers, or the rakshas and the yakshas. The cannibals and harm givers, cannibals. No, so the 2 types of demons, like the cannibal demons and the harm-giving demons, though naturally, normally they would be harmful beings, but through the blessing of the Buddha's mental holy intention, at certain periods of time, they're able to suddenly give utterance of Dharma. We're able to speak of Dharma terms, give Dharma discourses, short Dharma discourses, due to the blessings of the Buddha. So therefore, these are considered the enlightened activities of the Buddha's holy mind. And also, even the virtue, any virtue or positivity that is arisen, that arises within the minds of the disciples, that arises within the mind stream of the objects to be tamed, the disciples, then these are also considered the enlightened activities of the Buddha's holy mind. Here refers specifically to enlightened activity of the wisdom truth body, or the primordial wisdom truth body. The activity of the enlightened activity of that primordial wisdom truth body manifests in the form of virtue, or a positivity arising within the minds of the disciples. Yes.
sonje tenen ze yondu gona jumen jimen ninji sanje tenyo semje damje da pendo ban ze do jumen jimen ninji gone da sonje chuba da jumen jimen ninji gone pendo ban ze tenyo ne kanre resena dujing ne zhezhongna tenyo dujing ne zhezhongna tubi dujaden buzo do ma zhe ba dong guba ne ma zhong ba maybe jiwa ba dang ngi ban ze ba yin de da sonje chene hundru meme hundru ji jume che ba che tende ne meme hundru yin na danda yang ne donga ji nar de semje mon ba yo re de je ne chene me jo ba ka re se na da de za rong ne bu sonje chene jo du rong tende ji go yo ma do de za rong ne jo rong me yin na ne sonjen chenen jusi no me warwa. Ben dawa shayon de kona choye no mombo yochi. Ta cho tombo yobe nolan dawe sunye sebo shagi yore. Ene cho nyobo tende nolan dawe sunye se la ma se la. Ta pege shira nago cha de tende nolan dawe sunye ma sebo chagi yorwa. Yenden dawa la 데노나 샤 데노나 메샤 사면다 된대 요마고 그게 샤사게 노데 고 노도 롬메롱게 고 다베스니 샤 노지 손제 전에 매매 눈도 있나요 도자롱은에 요도롱 매나 다 유야매래 된대 인데 도징문에 저롱은 있나 도자든 부서도 마트베 요마레스 도징문에 구바들 좋은 롱이 요나 구바는 마롱바 요마레스 인데 손제게 손제 롱게 도자를 제거야 강한 놈게 요래. 인데 그게 도자를 펜 도마도데 도제 롱은요 용게 요래. 소이 요가 단정 일반 제바 인데서.
Then the text continues to say that the enlightened activities are spontaneous and everlasting, ceaseless. Here, everlasting refers to that the Buddha's activities enlightened activities to benefit sentient beings will never cease until the entirety of cyclic existence is emptied of sentient beings, until the entirety of samsara is empty of suffering sentient beings. To that extent, the Buddha's activities will always remain to benefit sentient beings. And here the text continues to say, if disciples are open to his guidance, the sage will give them that which is excellent and lead them out of trouble. So in the Tibetan text, the grammar is slightly different. It says, for those disciples that are open to its guidance, the sage or the Buddha there is nothing excellent which the Buddha will not be able to bring to them, and there is no suffering or trouble that the Buddha is not able to lead them out of. So therefore, the Buddha's compassion is totally impartial and totally spontaneous, compassionate towards sentient beings. So even then, we might think that, why, since the Buddha's enlightened activities are spontaneous and compassionate, why are there still so many suffering sentient beings? So hence we can understand that in order for the Buddha's enlightened activities to be able to work on sentient beings, there needs to be our participation in this process from both sides, not only from the side of the Buddha, but also from the side of the disciples. They need to be open to receiving such enlightened activities. Otherwise, the Buddha's enlightened activities are unable to enter into these beings and help them. So, for example, the analogy is given that when the moon arises in the sky, although on this earth there are many pools of water all around everywhere, but only those pools of water that are clear and calm are able to reflect to the moon. For those bodies of water that are constantly turbulent or unclear, muddy, then they are unable to reflect, to show the reflection of the moon. So therefore, from the side of the moon, there's absolutely no discrimination against whichever pool of water we decides whether to show its reflection here or to show and not show its reflection there. So there's absolutely no discrimination from the side of the moon. It is only because of the bodies of water being different in their states of turbulence or calmness. So therefore, from the side of the Buddha, there's absolutely no. Rinpoche uses the word duze, which refers to the tamer. The tamer of sentient beings, and also participation from the side of the tamee, the disciples, the beings who are to be tamed. So therefore, there needs to be participation from both sides. For the side of the Buddha, there's no discrimination whatsoever towards sentient beings. But from the side of sentient beings, whether they're open or not, or whether they're ready or not to receive such enlightened activities, then it's dependent upon them. So therefore, the Buddha's compassion is impartial and totally non-discriminatory. But from the side of disciples, it needs to be an openness in order to receive such benefit. Yes.
perché che vicino da tende che pen to io na tende che namba tenyata and samre pe duji namba da tene pendon ya da tende ya se ja do no na sombarwa la la ne ja se sombata yo du da tende che semje che ton se che yo rete jide mana je to maris yo samdana shawada nyomba tende che namba tene semje che ton se che yo res 얘다 던져지는 porque semje 가리고는 pen 도고요나 대동 좀 넘바 때네 semje 동적이 오래 던져지 단단데네 조진 요모 좀 맛이 뒤지요다 된반데스 근데 porque 요모가 니메시는 요모 그래 근데는 요모 좀야 porque pen도 요아이나 되는 요모가 니메시 요모 봉주 되는 농교지. 다 되는 게 마토가 가제라니 뒤지요다 때문에 뒤지 남았다 때네 나 뒤쪽에 요거 변동제야. 고베 롱시 메시지 단 고베 존지 롱시 메세바 다좀 쇼트하고다 고베 니종 되는 요 송교래스 지구함에 비해 소조대 난 지구함에 고빈 지구함에 답이 쏘나요 고지용으로 와대 단단데 지난 그게 고베 좀 고바 존지 롱시 대형 존지 남rom 옴보 메세바 된데 시에는 고바도 줘봐 제조 가와도 탈바요 돕주고요 나 된데 그 가바 맹게 된데라 요 고바 알아 지구함에 비해서 근데 몬도 공부다 좀 그래 몬도 공부 좀나 근데 대신 용거리에서 약속은 된대요 송해요 그래서 다 된대인데 평고 투제전 초제 semje namla bage jido rongate majiba 제가 요 말에 소이 말 병고 투제 신년나 제도 공시 조제 만세 바 신고 지신 지라 제스 이말 다 돈다 된지
So then the text further goes to say that the Buddha's activities are certain to do everything that needs to be done. Then it quotes from the praise in 150 verses, saying that you explain the destruction of afflictions, reveal the deceitfulness of demons, proclaim the terrifying nature of cyclic existence, and show the way to fearlessness. So here we're talking about the Buddha's the enlightened activities of the Buddha's holy mind, the compassionate enlightened activities of the Buddha being ceaseless, continuous and ceaseless. So therefore, if it's beneficial for a being, for someone to be guided by a spiritual master or a virtuous friend, then the Buddha would show the aspect of a virtuous friend to guide that sentient being. And if it was beneficial for Buddha to show the aspect of a demon, then the Buddha would show that aspect as well. And Rinpoche says this is mentioned in this particular sutra called the Sutra of the Meeting of Father and Son. And here it says the Buddha can manifest as princes or manifest as demons. All these are inconceivable, cannot be conceived by the ordinary worldly beings. Sometimes the Buddha manifests as the blind, and sometimes manifests as an insane person. Whatever is beneficial for sentient beings, that particular aspect the Buddha will show. So therefore, if it is beneficial for a particular being to hear the Dharma, the being is ready to hear the Dharma, and so the Buddha showed the aspect of the spiritual master, teach them the Dharma, and destroy their delusions, their mental afflictions, and cause them to totally abandon their mental afflictions. And if they are not ready for that yet, then the Buddha will probably even show the aspect of a demon and teach about the deceitfulness of demons and benefit that particular disciple. Or the Buddha might even manifest an aspect of teaching about the terrifying nature of samsara in order to generate fierce renunciation within the minds of the disciples. And the Buddha it says here, show the way to fearlessness. So here refers to the direction or the way to liberation from cyclic existence. So here, the Buddha would teach about the suffering nature or the faults of cyclic existence, the faulty nature of cyclic existence, as well as the different types of suffering within cyclic existence. And in this way, the Buddha would urge the disciple towards the ways of liberation. And through those, here also teaching the way to fearlessness refers to guiding the disciple to achieving higher rebirth as well. And then also to guide those beings who are caught up in fear, who are in a state of fear, to lead them towards states of fearlessness, which are like states of liberation. Yes.
인데 손제 지스는 놀두지 송바 yin 송거래. 다 조나는 고나서네 점바 제반이나 대마용 고도 마제게래. 근데 인데 연데 제시 제반. 삼통나 야부 용거래스. 대연에 거연데 다버지난다. 제가 무슨 배에서 뭐 제제 되는 레레레는 연데 더 점바 제바다. 근데 소용이나 두지 잡지레네 제 대가 논제는 토용되나 사면지대 되냐 지세야 근데 그게 손지게 토글라 다 대생에서는 만다 요되니 저게 대진이 자지 조주주 소도 좀 미치세요 세메지세요 남들 지세요 다 된대게 대생만다 저게 니시자지 용기하러 근데 대제베게 레레네 삼도 봐이나 근데 대바요 고나서는 제가 된대 용거래서
So then the text continues quoting the verses saying, O compassionate one wishing to help, you act for the sake of living beings. How could there be something helpful which you have not done? And further quotes from the praise and honor of one worthy of honor. It says, what trouble is there away from which you cannot lead living beings? What excellent thing is there that you cannot bestow on the world? So these two stanzas we have explained before. And then the text further goes on to say, the preceding briefly summarizes the way to reflect on the Buddha. If you reflect in a variety of ways, your faith will also rise in many ways. So here, the preceding sections have been talking about the qualities of the holy body, speech, mind, as well as enlightened activities, and only managed to mention some of those, because all these qualities are so vast and great that it is impossible to mention all of them at the same time. So here, for example, if you talk about the qualities of the holy body, then there are the 32 major signs and 80 minor marks. And these signs and marks, if you were to explain each and every one of them individually, each one would point out to a particular quality of the Buddha. Each one had a particular significance of its own. And also when we talk about the qualities of the holy speech, possessing the 64 types of melodies, the 64 types of melodious sounds, that each of these melody or sounds would have a particular quality as well, particular significance. And also we talk about the profundity of the Buddha's holy mind, possessing like different categories of the holy mind. And for example, like the 8 types of liberation or the 4 immeasurables and so forth. Every one of them would have to be explained in all of its entirety. So therefore, one could try one's best to remember all these different qualities in whatever way one can, and to reflect in these various ways the different qualities of the Buddha. Then one can generate faith. Yes.
용원에 용원의 점바지 군조 용대에서 용원의 점바지 제남 근데 대바는 쇼트하는 거야. 그래다 그래도 단단 뇽모만 와지 예나요. 츠미 이제 그거는요. 그게 좀 제모모지 사면 되거나 아니면 쇼 자른 로데야 근데 용기 열어 다들 노이제 저 연대가 전에 제반이 나요 손제 연대 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 전 연대 연대 전 연대거나 안 대바 쇼 자른 로야 근데 용기 열어 말이 연대 연대 전 맞잖아 쇼 자다 준원 저때 군조 신이 연대 연대 대단하고 근데 손제게 연대 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 전도 손제를 대바 제반 노이지 주요동 견디지 연대 나요 다 연대 연대 전 맞제가 있나 그래네 대바 쇼 자제가 다 지고 용기로 와
So in this way, by reflecting in a variety of ways, your faith towards the Buddha will arise in many ways. So therefore, if one were to use various means for reflecting on the qualities of the Buddha in different manners, then one would be able to reinforce one's faith. In the same way that if one continuously goes over in one's mind all the various objects of one's mental afflictions, one's delusions, then that process will reinforce the power or the force of our mental afflictions. So likewise, if one was to think of the qualities of the Buddha in many ways, going through them over and over again mentally, this would cause our faith to be more forceful, reinforce the power of our faith. So in this way, one should also, in the way that we think about, in the way that we reflect upon the qualities of the Buddha, likewise we should do so in the same way when one is reflecting upon the qualities of the Dharma jewel and the Sangha jewel. And by remembering this way, one's faith is definitely reinforced. Yes.
그래다 손지연 전에 매면 넘지. 인도에 두징은 요도로 가지고 거래서 야게 난 요도로 간다고 와서 나다 대박 거면 되리. 인다 대박까지 탐지지 자와니 숨어래. 나 깔고 탐지 제야게 자와 소대 대박 자되고 그래. 내가 노제는 손지근 전에 줘봐. 손지근 전에 줘야. 된다게 자와대요 대박 통되고 그래. 인도에 손지 군조성의 연대 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 군조성 대박지 다 대박 쇼 잡고 연나 근데 지나면 대삼지 대박 쇼 잡도게 그래서 군조에서 나요 쇼 잡은 거야 된다 용이야 이제 나도는 손지근 천인 주바제 담면도 괜히 용거 말아 된 노바 인데다 대박 쇼다 고미한테 개지 뭐 말이
So then, from the side of the Buddha, the enlightened activities are spontaneous and effortless, spontaneously accomplished. And therefore, it is from the side of disciples, then what causes us to become fitting vessels of such enlightened activities, or receptacles, fitting receptacles of such benefit, depends upon our faith. So therefore, if one has greater faith, the faith is said to be the root of all accomplishments and all virtue. So if one is able to generate faith, then one is able to become a receptacle of these, the miraculous works of these enlightened activities, as well as for a receptacle for these blessings to enter within us. Then it says in the text, to the extent of faith that you generate, to that extent they receive the blessings. So the more faith you have, the more blessings you will be able to receive, the more works of the Buddha, works of the enlightened activities of the Buddha will be able to manifest within you. So therefore there's absolutely no being into which the Buddha's blessings would not enter, but it is only from the side of these beings to what extent do they generate faith towards the Buddha. So therefore faith is a very important factor here. Yes.
Yes.
So we leave it at this point, so whatever we've heard, please apply them to an actual practice. Page 27. Middle of the page, Mandala offering. Page 29. Yawa lo san cha ba ye, ten ba yu rin ba